Wolfenstein. Now, the modern first-person shooter was invented by Wolfenstein 3D, by the guys at id Software. And there was a time when the release of a new Wolfenstein game would be a major AAA headline, cover of magazine kind of event.
Yep.
And somehow, even though we saw this game, I saw it both at GDC and we saw it at E3, it really hasn't, even from us, generated a lot of excitement. I don't think we haven't really been talking about it. I haven't heard a lot of talk on the internet about it.
I think it's because it was on ice for so long, and then when it came back to be like, now we're next gen, it was just an okay game. At least in my opinion.
I don't know.
No, I remember that being a big deal.
Wait, Return to Castle Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Huge game.
No, I know.
Huge.
But then it was sort of just an okay game, because it had been so
Oh,
long.
no, that game was very, very successful and very popular, especially in multiplayer. It's a game I played the living crap of out of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Loved that game. But somehow, this is being done by Raven Software, which is a great track record of doing games. We just reviewed Wolverine, which we enjoyed.
Yeah.
They did Quake 4, which, you know, most people liked for what it was.
That's very weird. This definitely slid through.
Kids go off to college and forget about their parents.
Indeed. So let's tell you a little bit about this version. The last time, you know, it's got its feet in the roots, as I said, of old-style video games with a over-the-top action hero as its lead, BJ Blazkowicz. Right, which, you know, is from the Duke Nukem era of ridiculous kind of over-the-top action heroes. But the Wolfenstein games have always been about mixing World War II killing Nazis, which it's odd, we almost were reviewing
Inglorious
in the same week.
Yeah.
Killing Nazis with this supernatural element, the idea of Nazis doing these experiments in the occult. So there's always in the Wolfenstein the Nazis that you're killing with World War II weapons, and then the like crazy over-the-top zombie Nazis, the weird experimental weaponry that you find, the giant ogres and whatnot.
Although, how crazy is it that it literally was the gun from District 9 when I first picked up that gun, and I was like, it's a weird, like, Ghostbusters thing, exploding guys. I was like, this is awesome.
True,
it's a gun from District 9.
So this Wolfenstein still sticks with that classic mission structure. It keeps the thing that was in the very first Wolfenstein 3D game, which is, you know, you can find hidden gold in levels, and it gives you your stats at the end of levels and all that fun stuff. But it also progresses the series a little bit and tries to add a little more hub worldy, open world, kind of choose which mission you're going to do next. Very reminiscent to my mind of Far Cry 2, what Far Cry 2 did, but just a little bit on a smaller scale here.
Interesting.
So Dan, what did you think of this Wolfenstein?
I was always so shocked that people loved Doom so much, because I always felt like, people always praise Doom. And I think you guys have clarified why that was, but I just remember Wolfenstein being, this is the reason why.
Yeah.
This is it. This is Wolfenstein. I remember my mind being blown, going to my friend's house because I didn't have a PC, to play Wolfenstein. Like, blown away that a game could move that way.
I gave it a 10.
Nice.
Back when I was reviewing games.
It was out of 100.
So big deal. And I love that when you choose which, if you want to play easy, medium, or hard, it's the same
ones.
Same exact ones from the beginning.
Bring it on.
I never get nostalgic, but I did this time around.
I think you get nostalgic a lot.
Mr.
No,
Nostalgia.
for video games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Secret of
But
Monkey Island?
like when people like reference things. No, but I.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I was blown away by this game. I really was expecting it to be poop. I really was not expecting much, and not only was it good because I was expecting little, it was actually good. It opened up and reminded me a little bit of Half-Life 2. You're in a train and you go in, enter your world, and you're ushered through this world in a very clear, I get the story, it's simple, I kind of empathize, there's a little bit of humor. Very good. People they know what to do here. I've talked often a lot about stories that are up their own butts and it gets overly political and characters you don't care about and blah, 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 blah. This is pure, good, perfect storytelling. Not perfect. It's not Half-Life 2. It's not an amazing story, but it's well told. Okay. But, first of all, that gun like District 9 is actually a lot like, this game is very Indiana Jones. It's almost like first-person Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it is.
And that gun is kind of like you're controlling the shit at the end
Ark
of
the Covenant.
Yeah. And because the
It's funny
noise
because I think it's
is
called
exactly
the arc. You can get like arc upgrades,
and the noise is exactly that noise from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
and it does the exact same thing to Nazis.
Yeah, it is so much fun, and you have these veil powers that you get in the game.
Right, I didn't even mention.
That are so use your D-pad to select these powers. It's kind of like in Time Split, or not Time Splitters, but the games that have time travel, where you get these functions. Game mechanics that change up the gameplay.
Yeah,
this
right.
does a phenomenal job at making a first-person shooter that we played so many of them exciting and fun. The stopping time or slowing down time and seeing certain things and what was the other one?
Shield.
Shield.
Yeah.
Like I love what that did to the way I was playing the game. And not only that, never has there been more perfect a balance of how do I say this? I've always felt I never felt like the enemies were too hard, and I never felt like they were too easy. I always felt so satisfying killing those enemies. I always
You
felt
played
like
on the normal difficulty?
normal difficulty. I always felt like I can kill them. They're not like they don't need too many bullets. They don't get killed in one bullet. It was always exactly what I wanted.
What did you think?
Well, I'm going to say that I was actually quite pleasantly surprised as well as Dan. I really enjoyed this more than I do your just sort of run-of-the-mill first-person shooter. I will say that this game, in my opinion, does something that maybe there are other games that also do the same mechanic, but never in a game have I personally wanted to find those secret items. Gears of War, great example.
Right.
Picking up cog tags, I could give two craps. I mean, when I did, I was like, well, that's a satisfying sound. Oh, an achievement, whatever.
Right.
In this game, I went through every drawer.
You use them to
because
purchase
you
things.
use them to purchase your upgrades. And I was
right.
always constantly wanting to get my guns to be better. And I was like, I'm never enough money. And you only get a limited amount when you win the mission.
Right.
So it motivated me to like go the place that I know I wasn't supposed to go.
Totally agree, dude.
Because before it'd be like I can go down there and get like the little icon that can put on my wall or whatever. It's like there's
And
no
even-
reason for me to go
Even
down
more than
there.
that, the tomes specifically will unlock
Other
your
powers.
ability to buy things.
And that's the other thing. So there was a lot, really great. And then the leveling mechanic. I love that it wasn't like after every round you just get to upgrade your weapons, or as you unlock them you just get to choose what they are. I unfortunately went and did a live dignation and came back and I had maybe 6 hours with this game, and then also had to play Secret Complex or whatever, Shadow Complex. So I didn't get it. But in between two missions, I was just sort of following around. And I was like, oh wait, I need to find a guy. Boom, the mission started, and I was like, oh my god, okay, so I have like tons of cash, but my weapons are exactly like my weapons were when I started a mission ago. So excited to get my thing. And I upgraded the sniper rifle thing, the gun rifle. Good God, it's satisfying, because I'm not a melee guy, I'm a backseat guy.
Right.
And I literally would just sit back and just snipe mother effers
cool.
with the silencer.
I don't think I ever. Oh, because I never unlocked the silencer. I was like, I don't think
When you put the silencer on, they're literally having conversations, and then you go, poof, and the guy falls over, and he's like, what? And the guy just goes, oh my god, wait,
sometimes
what?
their
And then,
throats, you'd shoot them in their throats.
They
and
go,
yeah, or their faces would be half
so satisfying, so satisfying. I had a blast.
You know, I also like the game. I'll temper your guys' comments a little bit. I don't think we should go a little
It's not the best game of the year.
overboard on this
Yeah.
game. Yeah, it's a very fun game. I don't think it does anything that a host of other games haven't done. All of the veil powers you get are carbon copies of 1,000 things I've seen in 1,000 games.
Sure.
Time Shift was the game I was thinking of.
Well, but any you know,
Blinks
Max
was what I was thinking
Payne, Infamous. There's numerous. The Shield thing. It's all reminiscent of other things you've seen. There's nothing original here.
Those are
but
both third-person games. I'm just.
okay.
No, it's
I know what you're
mean.
saying.
There's nothing original. But they do what they do very, very well, and the feeling of shooting is solid. The level design is solid. I think Far Cry 2 is a superior game in the sort of way that it handles that overworld, going from place to place. There's a lot of backtracking in both games, but this game felt less like a world and more like I'm going to the hub just to get to the next mission.
Yeah.
Also, both of those games annoy me in the sense that the enemies in those hub worlds respawn, and literally you could like leave and come back and leave and come back and just keep
Agreed.
respawning, which is
Agreed.
annoying. And why does every game have to have the same progression of enemies? Why do we have to have the invisible guy and the demon guy that runs low and fast and gets up on you you know
and the bosses that run into a pillar?
Yeah. I mean, having said all those minor complaints about just the sort of genre as a whole, everything that they do here is done really well, and like you said, it's a fun game and a great time of year for this game to come out, because we're sort of at the calm before the storm, before the big fall games start hitting. And it's a really, really fun game, I think.
Solid, yeah.
Well made.